Last time on What's Your Damage?
On the bed, for a brief moment, you see a cat that is white that looks at you and then disappears. The last thing that you see before it disappears is its eyes.
Like, it doesn't run off, it just like fades like a ghost or something else.
A ghost? Yeah. And a little shed on the back fortification wall. You hear a little stirring as a man starts to come out who has a rather curious monocle and a shaved head with long hair tied in a top knot.
Oh, do you work here?
I used to. Inside that plaster, you see a little jewel, and that little jewel is a drama mask of comedy and tragedy. As you hear the door to your one-door room close and lock.
And then that'll be 8 healing to Wobbles.
8 maximum. That is a friendship heal.
One day they'll automate our imaginations
What?
and we'll call it AI.
Theater of the mind in my D&D?
Vercevaron handed me a note. I do not know what's on that note.
Do you like me? Check one. Yes, no.
One of you is displeased. The one who's eating it is displeased, but it isn't because she's dying. It's because it is just a little bit not good.
I take a nibble.
It's not good.
Why not?
What is my damage?
See, now that's a professional.
Okay. I believe the cliffhanger that we left our adventurers on is Wobbles. Wobbles was looking through the room trying to find if there was a... What was
window?
it, Wobbles? You were looking for a window.
Yeah, there were old windows that had been like bricked out or anything.
Oh, yeah. Painted over, landlord style.
Yeah, unfortunately, there were no windows painted over. However, there was a very curious pin that had both tragedy and comedy on it. As you heard the door lock, your one door in and out of this room. What would the adventurers like to do?
We're gonna be trapped in here forever. We couldn't even get out if we were the greatest adventurers in the world. Did I do it? Are we free?
Wobbles. Wobbles, it's fine.
Okaat hears that phrase and glances around for a secret passageway to open. Like, come on.
The rumbling of rocks anywhere?
Just in case she's like, he said the greatest adventurers in the world.
I mean, I don't think they're actually here. Not anymore, anyway. I think they left.
Hang on. I'm doing a thing.
Hang on. Hold on. Hang on.
Oh, what thing? What are we doing?
With Liwayway confused about Okaat's sudden turn with really intent on this phrase, Rizzo, one of your charms starts to give off a light, let's say, what is his color? I'm going to say a light red.
They have a word for that. It's called pink.
No, that's too intimidating. Let's say a light orange color.
Orange. Do I know which one it is?
I think you do.
Gonna stop pulling it out.
Is this glow visible to Okaat?
I mean, I have my back to you right now because we're in the room.
I want it to be like, aha!
I'm like facing Wobbles.
Okay.
So if anyone's gonna notice, it'll be Wobbles.
Do I notice?
In that case, if you want to make a perception check to see if you like track what she's doing, make a perception check against her trying to stealth this. But I'm going to put in the chat, Kate, which one it is.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
If it's not just out in the open obvious, I wouldn't be looking for it because I'm a little stressed.
That's fair.
I don't give a shit if she's goofing around with her little glowy baubles.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sure, that's fine. I'm just gonna kind of, look around a little bit over here, kind of, and stand next to the wall and be like, what is it? Like, as I'm grabbing it, it's like, just like thinking very hard on this and be like, what is it? This is not a good time.
You hear a crackling energy coming from your symbol of faith.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear crazily the sound of, I don't think you would have any reference for this, but all of us who do have like aeronautical technology, it would be like the sound of a fan moving incredibly quickly, cutting through maybe the sky. It sounds crazy. To the rest of us, probably a biplane.
Of course it is. Of course it fucking is.
And you can hear in the very distance, somebody call me.
I didn't call. Well, I imagine everything's like in her head, but it's still very like hissed and hushed even in her head, which is I didn't call you. What's going on?
Somebody said the magic words.
Okaat,
No.
meanwhile, is checking under the beds just in case.
No one said the magic word.
Nobody said the magic word. Okay. Well, bye. You hear the-
One of these days, I'm just gonna like get my hands on him and could just wring his neck.
You okay? You look kind of tense.
It's fine. I just, not so keen on the locking of the door.
And I'm at the door
Yeah.
trying the handle.
Vercevaron doing the only sensible thing out of all of us.
No, I didn't want to interrupt. I just was, continue on with the other stuff.
With Vercevaron going to try the door, at the same time, Okaat is looking around. As you look under your bed, which is the one furthest away from the door on the left-hand side, as you are checking under there, there's nothing really under there. The only thing that may be kind of curious is it seems like there's a real damp spot, as if there had been something wet here. I mean, like, what are you going to say? It's just damp and the water is extremely cold. At the same time, Wobbles, you have unearthed the thing. Can you make me a perception check, or are you still kind of like freaking out?
Unearth the thing. What are you talking about?
The pin. The pin behind the,
Oh, yeah.
when
that
you were
thing.
checking the walls.
That's a nat one. I'm not giving a shit at all.
Howdy.
So still freaking out. That's the answer.
Yep.
At the moment.
He's spiraling, everybody.
Like his beard.
I think Liwayway had been walking up the furniture on the side of the room and is now just like perching, crouched on top of a nightstand, and she just kind of looks at Wobble. She's like,
Hey, look, it's just a pin in the wall right now, and we can probably bust that door down. If anything, we can burn it down. So it's not that bad yet. Just gotta take big breaths, right?
No, slow breath. Wobble slow. In through the nose, hold it, and then out through the mouth.
He's doing that, but his head's shaking a little when he's holding it.
Okay, not that much. Just, just like for the count of 3. Like breathe in, hold for the count of 3, let it out real slow. You're fine, Wobbles. It's all okay, Wobbles.
Vercevaron, as you're trying the door,
I'm also doing the breathing. Sounded like a good idea.
as Vercevaron is taking up those breathing exercises that Rizz just keeps on trying to sell to everybody and tries to turn the door. Yeah, you can feel that the door, it's locked. As you turn the handle, you get the sense that this lock isn't the most powerful thing. In fact, you're tall at like 6'5", was it?
Yeah, I'm something like that.
And you still have like an old soldier's body.
I'm a beefy, strong boy.
Emphasis on the old on that.
14 strength.
14 strength.
Not bad for an old man. You want to try me, son? Think you can take your old man? Anyway, sorry. Someone else is spiraling.
We're all spiraling a little.
As you turn it, you can feel this. It's a simple lock. If you apply enough pressure, it'll probably give.
Yeah, I will. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't like being locked in a room where someone has not given me the key. That's either malice or a mistake. So I'm breaking your fucking lock.
Okay, in that case, give me a.
Before that, I want to reach over and cast guidance on Vercevaron.
Thank you. I was just reaching for my own guidance, so I appreciate this.
Look at us remembering our spells.
She just leans in and kind of has one leg out behind her and just taps him on the shoulder.
I love it.
Liwayway's gonna raise one finger while that's happening.
I know what I just said, but I did want to are you sure we're really just in danger, or is this just I don't know,
This very well could be part of the test.
Wait, what test?
I thought he said we had to stay the night to earn his information, his gifts.
Yeah, stay one night and take no harm, which should be super easy because it's not haunted at all.
Wait, what gifts?
I don't believe he was specific about the gifts.
It sounded like a lost and found situation.
So there was the guy that runs this thing, the proprietor, was talking about how it's a test to stay the night.
Mm-hmm. Take no harm.
Yeah, and take no harm, you've passed the test, and then you get to choose a prize. And I believe the prizes are things that have been left by people who have failed the test previously.
He said nothing about locking us in a room.
Okay. All right, that actually just sounds like a security measure to me then. The test is maybe we don't leave the room?
I mean, potentially.
I found a wet spot under my bed. I'm going to check the other beds.
Thank God we haven't had a short rest in here.
Sounds like a you problem, hon.
Found it, did not make it. I would like to be clear.
I mean, what was it wet with?
I hope water.
Is it wet like the weird wet spot in the other tavern? That was actually a fucking cavern.
That's a fair question. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That illusionary tavern in the cavern. Oh, if this is hag shit again.
I can't answer that for you, but I can show you where it is.
I'm rattling the doorknob. I'm not breaking it yet, but I'm wiggling the shit out of it.
Can I see over Wobble's head to the thing that is still embedded in the wall?
Yeah, I'd assume so.
I think you said last time it was one of the masks, their necklaces.
Yeah, it was the necklace that they have, which is of the tragedy and comedy mask.
Which one is this?
This one isn't familiar to you, even with your memories restored. This seems like a mask, and the colors oddly don't correspond with any sort of particular color scheme. This is one which is in the image or visage of their masks. However, this one seems to be a wooden and a metal, and with you checking that, I would like you to roll me a history.
Okay.
I'm going to start with this bed over here. I'm going to check this one.
It's fully made of metal. I think the other ones were mixed. So
yeah, this one seems to be fully made of metal
and wood. Sorry, you said metal and wood. That's a 19?
Yeah, with a 19 to recall this, even though you aren't well traveled, as most people aren't in this world, because technology to go between the islands is rather very new. Rather very new. Yeah, that's good.
Rather indeed very new.
Indeed. In all the books that you've read of the Fortunate Few, they have made mention of metal and wood being a strong symbol of duality with Incanta. It's the metal of the tuning fork and the wood of the instrument is what that generally calls to mind.
Metal of tuning fork and wood of the instrument?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one, that's really not like the others though.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. I think all of the hags that I saw, that I remember seeing, they all had dragon colors. This one has metal and wood, and that means duality, balance. It's like a lot to do with like singing stuff because it's from Encanta.
Sure. Huh. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, isn't like the tavern that we were in? It was supposed to be in Encanta, wasn't it?
I don't think I remember that part.
I'm pretty sure that's what Bear said. It was in Encanta, and we were actually in Encanta, but when we came out, we were here. I don't know how that works. It doesn't really make any sense because they're like really far apart. But, yeah, I mean, I guess that does make sense. This is hag magic, though.
Uh-huh. So, like, what's the male version of a hag?
A Hagrid.
Just wondering if there is.
But she just gives this big ass shrug, like, how do you think I'm going to know that?
Just curious. Someone may know. I don't
Probably
know.
why they steal children.
What? And she like just kind of wiggles through the group and then jumps up on the other one and like is looking at it and about to touch it with her claw. And she goes,
Do you think there's going to be like another snow avalanche if I touch this?
I truly, truly hope not.
One way to find out.
All right, we're all agreeing that I can find out, right?
Sure, have at it, kiddo.
Fuck around.
Okay.
and she's gonna just like use her claws to try and get it out of the wall.
Yeah, as she reaches in to pull out the necklace, Vercevaron, with your position at the door, you can hear feet shuffling to and from. You also hear what sounds like someone very quietly pounding something or hammering something.
What's he building in there? My hand is just locked on this knob because Liwayway made it seem like I shouldn't open the door. And then we spiraled into we shifted over a conversation. And so now he's just like, open, not open. So I'm going to at least just
gathering information.
Listen to what's on the outside, but I still have a claw on that doorknob.
Yeah, you start to hear everly.
Hey!
Them some nonchalant zombies.
You yell out, hey, from behind the door.
Who's out there? Yeah.
You hear us suddenly, oh, the spirits, it says in return.
It's a ghost.
Ghost.
This isn't Pavel. The name isn't Pavel.
Pavel. Yeah, Pavel's the name. I wrote it down.
Yeah, Pavel is the name of the innkeeper.
The person who most likely locked us in.
Yeah.
100% did.
Does that sound like his voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like his voice.
Pavel! I'm rattling the door. Why did you lock this goddamn door?
As he is about to answer, we go back to Liwayway, who is using her claws to secure the necklace. As you do, Liwayway, the stone that this is located in, that Wobbles uncovered, it seems to be like fairly eroded, not due to acid or anything. Certainly wouldn't have you lose your hand that quickly. However, as your claws try to grasp the necklace, you do scratch what seems to be the very back of this stone, chipping it away. Through that pinhole, you can see the man that had been using the scythe and had given you some, let's admit it, in the spirit of full honesty, subpar muffins, is in the kitchen still, and you can see their head. And you can see the oven close by. They reach over to a table, bend down, and secure what looks to be clothes, a little bit wet, as they put it in the oven.
That's weird. So she has the amulet in hand, and she's kind of looking through this pinhole, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's just gonna like wad up her skirt a little and put it in like the pinhole and then look at the others and say,
The guy who made the bad muffins, is burning some clothes in the kitchen. Is that weird?
Just a touch.
Mm-hmm. And she's gonna pull things out, kind of look again, and then in the back of his head, he's gonna hear,
What you doing?
Ah! He says out loud. As that happens, we have... What's Okaat been doing during this time?
Checking under all the rest of the beds.
Checking under the rest of the beds. There's about, I believe it is 5 all told.
6? Oh, no, I count 7.
Oh,
1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5,
1,
6,
2,
7.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you're right.
7 beds for 5 weary travelers.
As you look underneath the beds of each of these, yeah, I mean, you catch a couple of dust bunnies, so I think that's great. You know, that will help in some ways. You catch...
The worst kind of bunny.
What about the were bunny? You also can see there's about, like, all told, you collect about 12 copper and 5 silver.
Hell yeah, brother.
Mine.
Money.
Marking that on my character sheet.
Funny money with pictures of people on it you've never
Yeah.
understood or seen.
They're all men, all old white men.
Triangle money. What the fuck?
But yeah, you secure those. Do you examine the one that you found, the the cold spot or the cold water that we hope is water? The cold spot that has...
Now that you ask, yes, of course I do.
Of course you do.
For good or for ill.
One thing that you notice as you look again is what appears to be like wood chip that may be similar to the tool that Liwayway took from the tree.
Okay. I pick those up because, God, I'm not contributing anything else. And I take them back to the group and I say, well, I found a wet spot and some wood chips. How's everyone else doing?
I've calmed down a bit.
Hey, that's great. Good job. I'm proud of your self-soothing skills.
As the man is still contending with something in his brain, Pavel is responding to Vercevaron. He goes like, "Oh, forgive me, sir. I don't know which one of you this is. However, it is quote unquote haunted. And would you like the door unlocked?"
I would absolutely like this door unlocked.
"My apologies, sir," he says.
Why did you lock this door? Oh, wait. Let me wait till he opens it.
You can definitely hear him unlock it, and he steps away from the door.
All right. I'm going to push the door open.
Kick it open. Why did you lock the door?
As you push the door open, you can see the main area that you have been, which is the long table.
Mm-hmm.
There are some janky ass decorations put up. There is a couple of skeletons and some spiders that it corresponds to what Wobbles saw earlier. And he goes, "We thought that you were possibly asleep, so in case you woke up in the middle of the night, you would have a room full of horrors," he says.
Is this some kind of fucking joke? What are you doing to us?
Vercevaron said the F word.
He's a soldier.
Can we swear?
Oh, yeah.
I don't like being held against my will. Vercevaron has a real...
He's usually so chill.
That's like prison. You're like locked up. That's no good.
No, look, I'm not arguing. I'm just impressed.
As he is about to answer your inquiry, Vercevaron, the man in the other room is like, "Do I talk out loud to you, or do I talk in my brain to you?"
I can hear both.
What? As I think Wobbles, who is still closest to this, can hear a man randomly say, "What?" As the door swings open, as Vercevaron's like, "Why did you lock the door?" He goes, "What am I doing? Drying clothes."
Do you normally dry clothes in the oven? I don't think that's what an oven's for.
Well, it's the quickest way, and plus, Pavel wanted us to get this done because, we do have such guests. But yeah.
Whose clothes are they?
The last people who stayed, I think.
I mean, if you don't want to tell me out loud, you can tell me in your head, and then she doesn't have to hear you.
She?
Mm-hmm. She. The one who won't let you have a cat.
Oh, yes, the cat. Yes, she doesn't want me to have a cat because she's supposed to be the only cat in this place. He says as he looks around.
Oh, is she a ghost cat?
Yes, he says. Not quite sure. He's like, that would be the closest definition of it that I could come up with. Or the closest approximation.
She's not purple, is she?
What? No, she's white.
Okay, then that tracks with what she said, but we were looking for a purple cat or something like that.
Huh. It seems gobsmacked by this as he's putting the clothes in the oven for a little bit, and Pavel, responding to Vercevaron, goes, Sorry. My deepest apologies, my good man.
Give me the key. I'll accept your apology.
Oh, absolutely. Here's the key to your room, he says as he
close
hands
the door.
over. Okay.
I lock the door.
I make my own prisons. As you can hear him walking by and saying like, dang it. Well, now the surprise is ruined.
I'm going over to my bed.
Poor Pavel.
How big is the hole to this oven room?
Pinhole.
Like smaller than a fake spider I found?
Smaller than a fake spider you found. It would take some doing to get the fake spider through it.
Nah. Too much effort. Too much doing.
I put the key on the table next to the bed. Here's the key to the room if anyone wants it.
Sure.
Wait, did you lock the door again?
Rizz will just hold out her hand.
Lily is kind of like looking between them and the pinhole that she's been like looking through this whole time. I'm not entirely certain what's going on.
Fucking dream team right here. Okaat's like, should we try to sleep? I guess.
As Okaat wonders that, Liwayway, you're able to see coming through the door Pavel, who he seems very upset at himself as he goes to the kitchen table and starts to rummage up something.
Rustle up some clothes.
Lily is just watching, just perching on this bed like that nightmare painting. Just craning her neck over so she could watch through the pinhole as she's waiting on the oven guy to make up his mind about telling her about the cat.
He last left off with, is it a purple cat? He's like, what? No. What is she waiting for on him?
She'd said something about they were looking for a purple cat or something like that. And she's just kind of waiting to see if he's going to actually answer the question about like what's going on here, if he's just sort of like done.
As far as he knows, he's given you all the information psychically to the questions.
She's gonna keep watching for a second, like waiting to see if he's actually taking the clothes out or if he's like intentionally burning them, because that's kind of what it looked like to her.
Right? Yeah. So he is just putting the clothes in as this conversation began, as all of the Vercevaron and Wobbles being like, "Can I get a fake spider through there?" All of that's going on, and about like 30 minutes later, he withdraws the clothes and checks to see if they are still damp.
What do they look like?
They are pretty heavy set. It seems like it's too heavy for the rest of Harmony. You see a long sleeve shirt and then another jacket of some kind and then like a heavy poncho over it and very thick pants. These are more akin to a very cold mountainous region like Hitra.
That's curious.
I think Okaat, having finished thoroughly her circuit of under the bed checking, is gonna just sort of ease down on the bed next to Liwayway and be like, "Hey, what you watching?"
She's gonna like put a finger to her lips and then like lean up and tell like gesture for Okaat to look through.
Cool, I do that. Most exciting thing I've done all night.
As Okaat looks through, she sees Pavel there, who is expertly peeling an apple with just a knife as he takes a bite of it.
Oh, she rolls her eyes. Typical.
He looked like an apple peeler the moment I met
I
him.
mean, he's the kind of guy that would peel an apple with a knife and eat it right off the blade just because, like, he thinks it adds to his vibe. Ugh.
And just a reminder to all the players here, he's passed all your vibe checks.
Totally.
Yeah, but I don't have to like it.
As he goes, I guess I should have waited just a little bit longer to give him the spooks. That's a shame. Well, have a good night, Maribon. And Maribon goes, have a good night, Pavel. He goes, yes, as Pavel exits.
I think we should take whatever rest we can. Sleep in watches. I have no idea what's up with this place.
Did we hear that last bit of conversation?
Yeah, that was out loud.
Okay. In Maribun's head, he's just going to hear,
Well, if you decide that you want to tell me about, why the cat won't let you have another cat, like, or if you need help with that, like, you can find me. But otherwise, good night, Marybun.
And he says dumbly, like, good night. Good night, brain voice.
God kind of leans over to Liwayway and Soto Voce goes, I don't think Pavel's dealt with a lot of adventurers before. He doesn't seem to understand that adventuring means you're not easily frightened, usually. Like, we've seen some shit.
I mean, yeah.
And Wobbles puts on a big poker face when you say adventurous night.
Not afraid of nothing.
Okaat, glancing over at Wobbles, goes, but the real bravery is being afraid and doing it anyway. Every adventurer knows that. But I think he was, like, really disappointed that we weren't spooked.
Oh, should we, like, make up some stories about, like, ghosts so we can tell them in the morning?
Yes, let's tell ghost stories. Let's tell ghost stories. Let's tell ghost stories. Let's tell ghost stories.
We should definitely work in a ghost cat because they actually have one of those here. I don't think he knows that.
Ooh. I want to see the ghost cat. Can we go look for the ghost cat? Guys, you want to go look for the ghost cat?
I want to look for the ghost cat.
Let's go look for the ghost cat. We're going to go look for the ghost cat.
Or Severin, can we have the key?
Keys on the desk.
Okaat is wired. She has gone past exhausted, past tired. It is past her bedtime, and now she is just running on a sugar high.
yeah, those muffins were a mistake, but, like, Lily's definitely just gonna, like, hop off, grab the key, open the door, and they're gonna go look for a ghost cat.
Yes.
Okay, just reminding you that we were buried in snow earlier today.
I wasn't.
Yeah, but it was because of you we were.
She was the one that was talking me out of busting the door. I don't know.
Yeah.
We also fought a weird zappy dog. Like,
I didn't.
Okay, you know what? Everyone do as you please. That's fine. Just go right ahead.
Thanks. I was going to do that anyway. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
This is worse than my nieces and nephews. I just want that noted. No, I'm just kidding. My nieces and nephews are 10 times less.
Do either of you want to take a nap?
Wobbles wants to turn this little cupboard into its bed for the night.
Aw.
I will, I'd like to take a minute. I was going to sleep, but I might take a minute and just, pray.
All right. Wake me up and then we'll trade off watch.
Sounds good.
And then Wobbles.
They have the key. That's unfortunate.
It seemed a plan made in haste.
They took the key, so now there's no real lock at all.
That door was not secure.
No, it wasn't secure to begin with. That's fine. That's true. That's okay.
Let's just leave it closed.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna hunker down on this bed facing the door, and then I'll take first watch, I guess.
I'll take second. Wobbles can have third.
Sounds like a plan.
And the kids can sleep when they get back.
Oh my god! As Okaat is following Liwayway through the halls of this house, she nudges her and she goes, "Ooh, you know what we should do? We should take some of the spooky decorations and dress up in them and scare all the other ones."
Oh yeah, we should definitely do. Oh, we should move them too, so that Pavel thinks they've moved around on their own.
Yeah. Oh no, let's go scare Pavel.
This is why people are afraid of tieflings.
I mean, we're more like teenagerlings.
Damn it, Grandpa.
Actually, as Okaat starting to walk away, Liwayway grabs her hand and then leans in really close. She goes,
Do you want to know a really cool secret? But it's a secret.
Yes.
And then her lips are not going to move, but she's going to say in Okaat's head,
We don't have to make any noise when we're doing this.
The gasp is out loud, and then Okaat claps her hands over her mouth and goes, in her head, "That's fucking awesome!"
Okay. I hope this one doesn't go away.
Good.
she's going to dash into the kitchen. But she's going to maintain the connection to Okaat alone, so the one she had with Mary Bun is gone.
As Rizz is watching and two of you go to sleep and the teenagelings start to create havoc in the teenlings. Yes, that's right. The teenlings. As the teenlings start
I'm just leaning into the trope, man. If we find some weed, I'm definitely going to smoke it. For the first time ever.
I know some flowers.
That will definitely make two of us.
And Rizz is taking watch. Is she praying or is she just keeping watch?
No, she will be praying to her deity.
Okay. Fair play to her. In that case, we'll go to Rizz, who is praying to her deity. What does one do when they pray to their deity? What does that look like?
For this, she's gonna take out a little flask from the inside pocket. It's tiny. It's 3 sips worth. It's just a little thing. And she's gonna take that out, and then she's gonna be she's just gonna mutter some say little affirmations of good stuff and in your name. And she'll just slug back 1 sip. And then she'll just sit there and concentrate on a certain somebody.
So, if I understand this correctly, her prayer ritual, instead of praying the rosary or any sort of thing like that, it's removing a flask, undoing it, and holding that one for your homie and taking a slug. Perfect. Okay, yeah, as you try to reach your god, you hear more of that, what we would know as biplanes, immediately filling your head as you hear the voice of your god go, hey!
Okay, so that's all you do is someone said the magic woods and then you're automatically there and that's the whole thing. Did you not notice something else happening in the meantime around here?
Well, sorry. I am sailing past the fudgy wudgy clouds into the land of candy canes.
Stan, what does that mean? You know I hate when you do that.
They're treacherous lands. The fudgy wudgies make you no more budgies. That's the rhyme.
Stan, you know I hate when you talk in fucking rhymes. And you do it all the time.
He just super giggles at that.
Damn it.
The fire grows.
Damn it.
And Rizzo doesn't even know.
Listen, did you notice at any point in time that I was kidnapped for a year?
I thought you were just taking a Rumspringa.
What is a Rumspringa?
Oh, never mind.
Farstand,
No, you should mind.
I should.
It's when people of a faith take a break. See if they were willing to commit.
We've already established that I've committed, haven't we?
You did call on my powers a couple of times.
I did a little bit, yeah. And listen, I don't go back on my word, okay? And I said, hey, I may have been 3 sheets to the fucking wind at the time, but I did say, grant me some powers and I'm yours. So here the fuck I am.
You know what? Might be.
Anyway, Hags. There were hags.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Kidnapped me and some people for a year.
Beans.
Yeah, you didn't find that concerning at all when you're like cleric, your only cleric, I think. I think we've also established that I'm the one and only at this point in time.
You know what else that makes you? The best cleric.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
There's no other competition. Because they know they'd come in second.
I want to take that as a compliment, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah!
I'm just gonna say that was a compliment. So thank you, Farstand. Wonderful, magnanimous deity, as always.
We try our best here.
Yeah, it would have been, what it would have been nice is if you'd, granted me some fucking power to, remember the shit instead of having my mind wiped every time. And maybe I could have gotten out of it. Yeah, okay, can you just, do me, one solid when you're out of the chocolate clouds or whatever the fuck you're in right now?
You hear what sounds like fire. It's like, crap! Yeah, hit me.
Are you on fire?
No.
And is it cut?
No, he just goes, no.
Okay.
You can, as if he's doing the shaking hand thing, like, man.
Okay, can you, find out if there are 2 certain people whom I know you know when I say this, that will they just, kill me on sight for disappearing for a year? Or,
Oh, yeah. No problem, I got you. After I extinguish my fire, I'll figure it out.
Well, thank you. That would be wonderful. Love you, Farstand. I will send you hag ears soon.
Hugs and kisses and fudgy wudgies to you. Well, no. You feel yourself suddenly blessed. I protect you from fudgy wudgies. As you hear the plane going down.
Oh. He's always such a mess.
A contract with God. That's what they're like.
I think she'll just kind of she'll kind of stretch out on the bed that she's on and just sit back to get ready for watch and be like, could have pledged to devotion. Could have pledged to dream. Could have, hell, one of the Hamidi small gods might have been fine. No, I get Farstand.
You hear it in the back of your mind.
Love you too, buddy. Love you too.
Thank you for listening to What's Your Damage Season 2, featuring Ray Palmer as Liwayway, Sadie Blake as Okaat, Kate Ingram as Rizz Parcheesi, Douglas Gale as Vercevaron, Parker Postini as Wobbles Waggletop. Elliot Rose is our Dungeon Master. Audio engineering by Sadie Blake and Douglas Gale. All music created by Sadie Blake. Sound effect attributions can be found in the show notes.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. You can find more of What's Your Damage on Apple Music and Spotify, or on our website, wydpod.com. We've got maps, just gorgeous character art, and tons of lore for all needs to know. There's also going to be a sign up for our newsletter, which features content warnings for all episodes upon release, because we think that's super important. And for those of you that want to chat with us on social media, because you love us so much, you can find us at WYD Pod, and that's WYDPODD on Instagram and Threads, as well as a bunch of others listed on our website. In case you don't like those first two, you can find us elsewhere, because if there's a place to be, we're probably there already. So, please stop by, say hi. We would all genuinely love to hear from you.
The greatest adventures in the world!